Hello Powell family, and welcome to Powell Yoga. Today we're going to focus on the practice of restorative and yin yoga. Really allowing the tissue, the tendons, and the ligaments to stretch and open up. Allowing us to get beneath the muscle and into the tissue where we can really start to open up through the joints. So for today's practice, you'll probably need 2 blankets, 2 yoga bricks, and a bolster. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and meet me on the mat, and let's begin. We're going to find ourselves in a supported seat. So if you find there's tightness in the hips or the low back, go ahead and take a folded blanket behind you and use that just to elevate your seat a little higher than the legs. Take a nice deep breath and then allow yourself to start to bring your intention to the mat. Perhaps you close the eyes or softly bring your gaze to the floor in front of you. Start to just be aware of how the body is feeling today. Maybe you notice more tension in the low back or the hips. And so as we go through our poses today, try to use the support of the props and of gravity to support you. And for now, just bring your attention inward and start to focus on your breath. As you settle into your seat, allow the body to find stillness. During your practice today, if you notice that the mind starts to wander, can you bring it back to your breath and allow yourself to stay present and grounded? Or perhaps you set for yourself a mantra or an intention to try to settle in the busy, hectic mind, to allow it to find some relaxation and to restore. So often in our normal practices, we're always on the go, engaging the fight or flight part of our nervous system. So for today, I encourage you to access the restorative and the rejuvenation part of the nervous system by focusing on the breath. And allowing, again, the props to support you in each pose as gravity helps us to sink deeper and deeper. So for today, we won't be using muscular strength, but the assistance of our props. So from here, allow the lips to close and inhale and exhale through the nose. Be soft through the neck, maybe even allowing the chin to gently tilt towards the chest. While you find length and stability through the spine. And again, keep coming back to your breath. If the mind starts to wander to to-do lists or what the rest of the day will bring, or if it's in the evening for you now, what the day has brought. So let the breath have focus and meaning to guide you through your practice today. And with love and compassion, notice at any point today if the mind starts to wander. And just acknowledge that and bring it right back to your breath. On the next inhale, start to gently flutter open the eyes. And reach the arms up, finding length through the spine. And on the exhale, gently start to fold over your legs. Just take a moment and notice if the hips are really tight. Perhaps you grab one of your blocks to support the head by resting the forehead. Or maybe you use no props and just allow the chin to tuck towards the chest. Wherever you are, start to let go of any tension that you might be holding in the body. Notice the low back, the hips, or the knees. Perhaps you're tense in the upper body or in the face. Can you allow that area to soften? And staying grounded through the hips, gently start to walk both hands over to the left corner of your mat. And on the next breath, gently walk the hands over to the right with much ease. Slowly come back through center and gently, one vertebra at a time, roll all the way up to sit. From here, we're going to transition into tabletop. So if you have support under your seat, go ahead and release and come into your tabletop. We're going to find some decompression for the spine through cat-cow. So rounding the spine, pull the hips and chest towards the center of the body. And then slowly allow the chin to pull away from the chest as you pull the tailbone up and drop the belly. Just let the breath be natural and find a gentle movement. Nice and easy, very gentle through the body. Take a moment and just move freely in the body. Maybe you start to move forward and back. Just allowing the body to really open up. And slowly come back in. If at any point you need extra padding under the knees, go ahead and bring a blanket under them. From here, gently just allow the hips to sink back towards the heels and come into your child's pose. Allow the belly to rest on the thighs. the head to relax from the neck. Keep grounding yourself with your breath. Slowly feel your way back through table. And we're going to settle into down dog. So tucking the toes under, drive your sits bones high to the sky. And on the next breath, take the right foot up, bending at the knee, opening up from the hip. And from here, we're slowly going to pull the right foot through to pigeon, allowing that right knee to come to the wrist. From here, we're going to come on to the left forearm, coming into a twisted pigeon. And if this feels good, feel free to stay here. Or if you can, we're going to bend the left leg and use the right hand to grab that foot. Taking our gaze over the right shoulder. Really feel the opening through the quadricep and through the hips, the front of the thigh. Take one more deep breath here. And then slowly release that back foot. Coming back to center, releasing the left arm and coming onto both forearms if that's available to you. And slowly start to come towards the floor. And if coming to the floor is not comfortable, feel free to bring a bolster or the bricks under the body for a little support. And again, come back to your breath. So as you settle into these yin holds for extended periods of time, allow yourself just to mentally scan the body and see how it feels. And know that often it's the mind that wants to bail first, even when the body is capable of finding that stillness. So if you notice in this pose that the mind is starting to wander, or the mind is causing the body to start to find movement rather than stillness, can you allow yourself to come back to your breath and to find that stillness for just a few more breaths? And very slowly start to lift yourself back up. Slowly walk yourself up. And keep everything where it is as you sit onto the right hip, bringing the bottom of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Inhale, reach Reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, folding over your left leg. Allow the back to round. Allow the chin to tuck towards the chest. Trying to stay grounded through the right knee. And again, as you settle, just take that mental scan. Are you holding any tension in the upper body? Are we tense through the left foot? Can we allow it to relax and to melt? Letting go of all muscular integrity so we can focus on the fascia and the connective tissue. And stay nice and grounded with your breath. Slowly start to bring yourself back up. And we're just going to transition to pigeon on the other side. So bend the left knee and we're going to take the right leg to the back. From here, slowly start to lift up. Coming on to the right forearm. Open up the left arm, reaching back. Bending the right leg to grab hold of that foot. To give some love to the quadriceps, allowing it to open up, lengthening through the psoas and melting towards the floor. Slowly release the right foot, bringing yourself, the chest back to face the front, and bowing the head towards the floor, or allowing it to come to rest on the floor. And coming back to your breath, allowing the body to find that stillness. Acknowledge that sometimes yin can be harder than our vinyasa flows. It can be harder to find stillness in the body and the mind than allowing ourselves to just go and stay busy. Right now, we have to face every intention, everything as we find this stillness. So allow yourself to stay present and be with the emotions and the feelings inside the body and out. And again, just like before, just take a moment to scan the body. And if you notice you're holding any tension or engaging through the muscles, can you melt that away and allow gravity to push you down and stay supported through whatever props you might be using. Slowly start to bring yourself up. And let's transition to the other side. allowing ourselves to find that seat and opening up and folding over the right leg. Bringing the bottom of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Letting go of any tension in the right leg, so avoid flexing that foot. Notice how it feels in the hips and the low back, and see if we can't decompress a little more by allowing the body to melt. Keep coming back to your breath. Slowly and gently start to work your way back up. And extend both legs. Just release anything through the hips or through the knees as we transition into our next pose. So we're going to move into a very deep hip opener, but we will be supported on the knees. So if you're on a hard surface, you might want to bring your blankets, at least one under the knees, or maybe just fold the mat on the edges to give yourself some more support. And then get rid of any ridges in that blanket. Go ahead and bring the knees onto the blanket and bring them really wide. We're going to go ahead and grab our bolster, and I'm going to place my other blanket on top of the bolster. From here, we're slowly going to sink the chest towards the bricks as we sit our hips back towards the heels, allowing the hips to open up. And try to bring the feet somewhat parallel with the back edge of the mat without adding tension in the body. Even though this posture can be intense, allow yourself to melt into it, to find that stillness, to not react to those first reactions of wanting to bail, and allow yourself to settle in. Go ahead and take the head onto the other cheek to even out. From here, slowly just bring the feet together and very gently start to just guide yourself back up out of this pose. And take as long as you need to allow the body to adjust after we were opening up the hips so deeply. So maybe you just take a moment to breathe and allow the body to reset. We're going to transition into our next pose. So go ahead and set your blankets off to the side for now. And we're going to bring the bolster to the back of our mat. And perhaps we place one blanket along that bolster for a little bit more support to act as a pillow. And then come to sit towards the front short edge of your bolster. We're going to pull that bolster right to the bottom of the sacrum and then slowly start to allow the upper body to melt on top as we lower all the way down. Settle in as the hips start to open up and then work the bottom of the feet together, bringing the legs into that butterfly-like position. You can let the arms just relax onto the floor, or maybe they rest on the hips or on the belly. Whatever feels best for you. But really feel the front body opening up, being supported with this bolster while gravity opens up the hips, while the bolster supports us in a back bend, allowing the muscles and the tissue in the front body to take up space and to open up, while we support the low back and the back bend with our prop. And as you settle in, again, take that scan of the body and then ground yourself with your breath. And then allow yourself to find that stillness, letting go of any movement in the body and allowing the nervous system to restore and rejuvenate. Take another breath here. And then very gently start to bring the knees and inner thighs together, releasing the hips. And use the hands to assist as we come up to seat. Go ahead and slide the bolster off to the side. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time, lower back onto your back. walk the feet towards the hips. We're going to cross the right leg over the left and then let the legs fall off to the left side. And then take the gaze over to the right shoulder, coming into a gentle spinal twist. Take that scan and see if you're holding tension. Maybe in the legs, you're lifting and pressing the feet hard into the floor. Can you allow that to melt and let go of the muscular support? To the ceiling, and then lift your legs up back, releasing the right leg, and then take the left leg on top of the right, walk the hips over to the left, and then gently let the legs fall off to the right as we take our gaze over the left shoulder, allowing us to twist the opposite way. Giving love and nurture to the low back. And then again, gently take the gaze up and walk the feet back. From here, release and extend the legs out long, coming into our final pose. Allow the legs to fall off naturally from the hips. Allow the eyes to close. Yourself to completely relax and let go. gently rock the head side to side. And then in a way that feels good to you, roll onto one side. And press yourself up back into your seated position, allowing the hands to just rest on the thighs and the chin to fall to the chest. And take a moment to just see how the body feels after this restorative class. Letting go of all of the junk that builds up in the joints and settles into the body throughout our day-to-day activities, that we can release and let go as we open up the connective tissue. Take a moment and just be grateful for the time you carved out for yourself. And allow that sensation of letting go just start to surround you and envelop you. Take a nice deep breath, inhale. Exhale, let it out. Thank you, Powwow family, for joining me today. From my heart to yours.